Hey guys, welcome to those of you that are coming on board. Friday night, what is it? July 27th. Welcome to Legally Armed America's Friday Night Gun News. And of course, I'm Paul Glasgow. I'm watching a little counter here for you guys to kind of come trickling on in the room. And some last minute little preparations I had to make because what I was doing to try to get online live was not working. So had a very quick change of pace and change of plans. And the change of plans change my. Let's see here, guys. I'm gonna try to keep up with y'all a little bit tonight, as far as what we discuss and guitar strap in the way. Let's see. As you guys roll into the room, I'll give you some quick shout outs here. Richard Portello, Mr. F&H, Big Mo, Gerald Dees, SC Redneck, and we will wait for the rest of you guys to come on in. I am, let's see, nursing a beer here, so no one is offended. I will continue to finish this thing off. Hope you got one. Grab your cold one if you can. Let's see. Eat Durian. I don't know what the last name. NNIUQ, buddy? Not sure. John Blaze, Shepherd. Again, Mr. F&H. How's it going, man? Man, a lot of stuff this week happened. I'm not sure how much of it is newsworthy, to be honest with you. We put some new videos out. We put one out. We had a murder down here along the Interstate 10. Who would have thought, Interstate 10 corridor, that we'd have a murder down here where millions of people pass and somebody kills somebody on the side of the road? You know what I mean? I don't know. The boldness of murderers and criminals never ceases to amaze me. But put a video out along those lines, kind of talking about ways to keep safe. You will be getting some more videos like that. We call them our victim status 0 videos. We actually have some pretty cool patches made that say victim status 0, and that's actually a little series that we put together that we want to try to share some of the things that we've picked up along the way over the years. I have different certifications. I don't give any classes or anything like that, but to just educate myself, but also add credibility to some of the stuff that I do online. I want to have those certifications. So I have some certifications for teaching courses. Again, I don't teach them, but I have those to kind of give me a little bit of knowledge. So trying to share some of that knowledge. And one of the biggest things is, we do talk about guns a lot, shooting, reviews, all that good stuff. But one of the things that I like to point out also, and I actually like to share, is ways for you and I to continue to keep safe. Ourselves and our families, and that's one thing that I'm excited to share a little bit more of. And I was actually surprised at so many of the people that commented on that video about, hey, let's do more videos like this. So I will be doing that. Not getting away from the gun stuff. Still going to have just as many gun videos and all that, but we're going to sprinkle in some of the self-defense and personal defense things also, to try to again educate all of us. And it's educational for me too, because I get a lot of knowledge from you guys. A lot of people will share things that have happened to them that are kind of anecdotal, that along the same lines of what I've dealt with, and it's good for me. I mean, it's great feedback from me. So again, you guys help keep me and my family safer also by sharing some of your stories. So anyway, that happened. Let's see, I put another video out. What was the other video? Gosh. Oh, on down here in Louisiana now, my store, I carry some outdoor supplies, and one of the things that I carry is a new brand of knives. If any of you are country music fans, you probably have heard of Zach Brown. I've heard of Zach Brown because of the knives that he makes. I'm not a country music fan, so I don't know who Zach Brown is. Now I do, but I didn't before. But anyway, he has an amazing company called Southern Grind, and they make some awesome pocket knives. And actually, not just pocket knives. They make some straight blades also, and some other things. Machetes, unbelievable. But I put a video out about this really cool knife that I'm excited about. This is kind of neat. Show you a little bit of it. It's a copper handle pocket knife from Southern Grind. And if you notice how kind of dull and kind of brown and dingy looking that looks, look around the clip there. You see how bright and you know, nice and you can see the outline of the clip right there around the clip that goes on your pocket. That actually is how the whole knife looked yesterday. It came to me vacuum packed in a little sealed package. And what I'll be doing is showing you guys how that thing is going to change colors over time. Again, the backside, excuse me, which this has been against my body in my pocket all day, kind of sweating and getting hot. And you see how dark it is. And then again, you see how light it used to be around the clip right there. So I'll be doing some videos on that, kind of showing everybody that. Very nice knife, kind of heavy, which I don't have a problem with that. I mean, it's going in my pocket. It's not like I'm carrying a gun all day or something. It's not like something that actually is heavy. But a really cool knife. The quality of their products are nice. I put a little video out about that. I'll be working on a couple of videos tomorrow, weather permitting. We'll see. You know, it's hot as hell out here. Heat index is 108, 109 with the southern Louisiana. Humidity is it's ridiculous. And I kind of get the feeling though that we might be at that peak, like we've hit our highest point of the summer. I guess I'm being hopeful here that hopefully starting tomorrow, it looks like our temperatures are starting to dive down a little bit. So I'm excited about that. This heat is unbearable. If you go back and look at my videos, you've noticed you'll notice my videos have slowed down tremendously. It's not fun. It's not fun to me, you know, to go out there and just stand in that brutal sun and you know, no wind. You know, I love fall, so fall is something that I really look forward to. And you know, I spit a lot of videos out through our fall and our winter. Our winters are nothing. Our winters are basically an extended fall down here in South Louisiana. Let's see, a couple of newsworthy things. Actually, let me go do some more shout outs before I move on. Hey, Vsauce Lennon here. How's it going? Willie Dick, Daryl Bly. Let's see. Smitty Werbin, Jaegerman Jensen. Gotcha. Tupo, Logo, Donald Wazalewski, Ken Grove, Shepherd, I think we mentioned you earlier. Tim 748, Gun Loving Grandpa Stanley, Two Feather Channel. Let's see, that's probably it. And let me look at some of y'all's comments real early on before these things get moved on and I don't get to see them. Let's see. Willie says, first time on our live stream. Welcome, Willie. Hopefully it's something that interests you at least a little bit. We try to do this on Friday nights. I'm not always that successful. Sometimes I get lazy. So my bad on that. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to read through your comments real fast. Big Mo, my store is Planet Pools. It's actually a pool and outdoor store. I have some outdoor products in it also in Lake Charles, Louisiana. So you can catch the knives there. I've actually got some really cool knives over there. I really like the Zach Brown knives, the Southern Grind knives. Let's see here. How do you feel about that idiot in Florida who shot that woman's husband for pushing him down? I don't think he should have shot the husband. Man, I think there's going to be some case precedent set in that whole deal with that guy, man. Everything other than the video, of course, is hearsay right now. You've got people saying that the guy used to hang out at the convenience store picking fights with people, that he kind of stalked that whole handicap parking spot just to try to get wait till people parked there that didn't belong there so he could get out and argue with them. I don't know that. That's hearsay right now. I don't know if the guy really did that. if the guy was truly provoking a fight, and will we ever know? Honestly, are we ever really going to know? But if he was trying to provoke a fight, the guy needs to go to jail, needs to go to prison, needs to happen. He took a man from his family. Now, two wrongs don't ever make a right, right? The guy comes out the store, and look, we know how people are nowadays. People are crazy. You know, if I walk out of a store and I see some guy, now again, there's no audio with this video, so I don't know the tone of voice. I don't know what was being said or anything like that. So when the guy walks out the door and he sees this guy standing feet from his car, and I say yelling at his wife, again, that's an assumption because we don't know if he was yelling or not. You can't tell in the body language if the guy was shouting, but let's say he was. Let's say he was talking aggressively to the wife. I get the guy coming out and approaching him. Now, I don't think it's ever okay to shove anybody to the ground unless the words the man was saying warranted that. Like, I'm going to kick your ass, or wait till your husband gets out of here, I'm going to beat his ass, that kind of stuff. We don't know what was said. Without audio, we cannot take the full context of that video and apply it and say this is what we would or would not have done. I mean, let's be real here. I know most of us want to automatically side with the gun owner, but I think that's a mistake because we don't know what he was saying. Maybe he was truly trying to provoke a fight. I don't really want to comment too much on it because I don't know the facts, and I don't want anything that I say to be misconstrued that I'm either siding with the guy who provoked the fight and now I'm the bad guy, or that I'm siding with the guy who pushed him to the ground and essentially got shot. I hate it for the families. I hate it for both families. Let's face it, it can never be a pleasant thing unless you're a murderer and you take pride in it, to take another person's life. That's something he's got to live with. This man has to live with that for the rest of his life. And on the other hand, the other family has no dad. 5-year-old kid in the car, doesn't have a dad anymore. Watched his dad get shot. Watched his dad get killed. Let's see how this thing plays out in court. There's more stuff that's going to come out. There were clearly witnesses all over the place. So the context of the conversation, we won't be getting just one side of it from either one. We'll be getting some third-party people. Now, that can be misconstrued also. Obviously, third-party conversations. Look at all the people in Ferguson when Michael Brown earned his own bullet. There were people saying that Michael Brown was running with his hands up in the air. That was clearly a lie. So the witnesses lied. So witnesses cannot always be trusted to tell you the truth. But there were witnesses, okay? So let's wait and see what happens when it all comes out. Let me just throw some ifs out there. If the guy was provoking, trying to get a fight, if the guy was swearing and cursing at the guy's wife, if the guy was being belligerent over a handicapped parking spot, right? Then I don't want to automatically say he should go to jail because remember, guys, and I know you guys are all smart. I mean, I watch your comments on here a lot. Court cases set precedent. So if we just say, because we assume the guy was picking a fight and wanted to shoot somebody, if we just say, well, he was picking a fight, so he should go to jail. Let's remember, that sets a precedent in the court system. So when one of us is not trying to pick a fight, but yet some guy comes out the store and pushes us to the ground, we pull our gun because we feel threatened and we shoot him and kill him, then guess what? We might be the next person that goes to jail because this case could set that precedent. So we have to be really careful. One thing that I do believe in is karma. The law doesn't always have to fix everything, right? The law doesn't have to always be an all end all. Karma is a lot of times going to take care of itself. If this guy was truly picking a fight and he shot and killed that man because he was provoking that, I can't say that applying the language of the law without knowing what's going on in that man's head. We don't know that his intent was to kill somebody that day. We don't know that he went there to kill somebody. So without knowing that, we have to assume that maybe he didn't. You know what I mean? You have to assume both sides of it. You can't just take one side and just make that assumption. So with that being said, the law with the stand your ground laws over there has to be applied. Now, I know I haven't watched the entire video, but I know there's people who have said that the guy was backing off and raising his hands. You know, maybe all that applies. But I know what it tells me. It almost makes me want to walk around now with the freaking body cam. Because what if this does set a precedent and somehow or another this guy, right now no charges are pressed against him. What if it gets flipped and all of a sudden he does get charged? You know, this is a criminal case right now that he's not being charged with. There will well, not most likely. There's going to be a civil case. He's going to be charged civilly. So it's very, very possible that he could still actually go to prison over this. So I think it's very important, again, that we be very, very careful here and not just say, that guy was looking to start a fight. He wanted to kill somebody that day. He needs to go to jail. Again, realizing the precedent that it's setting, knowing that one day we may need the defense to be in our favor. And if this precedent is set, we can't just jump on a hunch. You know what I mean? We have to be real careful about this. And we also have to realize that in our cases, and in many cases, you know, gun laws are not going, or I should say, court systems when it comes to guns are not always going to favor us as gun owners. So gun laws make me very, very nervous. When precedents are set in the court system, they're not usually going to lean in our favor. So as gun owners, as responsible gun owners. So I think we have to be real careful here. I mean, let's see how it plays out. I mean, we'll see. I will just say this. No one deserved to lose their life over a parking spot. The guy should not have come out of the store and pushed the man as aggressively as he did to the ground. He did. He shoved him. It would have knocked any one of us down. So, again, I'm not saying the guy deserved to lose his life. But, gosh, we have to all realize that we need to all be responsible for our own actions. You know, you can't come out and just shove somebody to the ground who's, you know what? By the same token, you talk about the guy raising his hands up and backing off. That man, I shouldn't say the murderer, the guy who shot the gun, who killed him, he was posing no threat. He was not posing an immediate threat. He wasn't in an aggressive position. You know, he wasn't approaching the wife's car all bent over like, you know, he was ready to strike her. He wasn't reaching for his gun, even though he had one. He didn't have it brandished. It wasn't in his hand. So, yes, maybe the man didn't deserve to die, but nothing that the man did, even if he was trying to pick a fight, nothing he did warranted getting shoved to the ground. I mean, let's be real here. So, I don't know. There's a lot of what ifs. You know, what if this, what if that? We have to get into both guys' heads, you know, to understand what was going on. So I guess that's the court system's job at this point. Awful situation. I hate it whenever a legal carrier of a gun is involved in something that's questionable, because it makes people who don't understand our culture, it makes them question everybody, and I don't like that, because it shouldn't be that way. You know, you shouldn't be painting gun owners with a broad brush like that any more than the left gets mad whenever Muslims attack people just because they're Christians, and they get mad at us if you try to paint a broad brush the whole group of Muslims with that, you know. But yet they're quick to throw us all into one category when something like this happens, that, oh, we're all crazy, now we're all looking for fights at convenience stores. So I'm hesitant to do what they do. I don't want to do the same thing. Let's see, fellas. Let me go back through here. I know I kind of went on a little long on that. One of you guys had said something in here, and I wanted to mention it. I wanted to talk about it. Let's see. Hello from Pensacola. How's it going? You know, let's see. Mega D Biker asked, can I talk about the latest ruling from the leftist 9th Circuit Court? I'm actually reading up on that right now. I may be putting a video out this weekend on that, so I don't really want to comment too much on that right now, if that's okay with you. Let's see. Yeah, one of you guys made a comment. Josh did. Josh Levy. People die from falls like that all the time when they crack their skulls open on the concrete. That's absolutely right. I mean, again, man, I'm not trying to justify either one of the guys' actions. I just feel like nothing that the shooter did warranted the type of force that was used against him at that time. You see what I'm saying? I hate it. I hate it. It's a horrible situation. I hate seeing a dad being taken from his family. Um, all right. What was the other thing that came out that I wanted to talk about? There was something else this past week. Oh, if you're in Louisiana, it kind of sucks. We have a douchebag Democrat governor down here. The guy only won because the Republican that was running with him was a U.S. senator. He was one of the ones. If you remember the, I forget, maybe I think it was in the Heidi Fleiss thing. Remember Heidi Fleiss was like the D.C. hooker. Well, our senator down here had spent some time with the D.C. hooker, or at least at her place of business. So that was our candidate to run against this douchebag Democrat. So we're down here in the deep South with the only Democrat governor in the whole South because we ran the wrong candidate. Kind of like how Hillary was the wrong candidate for the Democrats. This guy was the wrong candidate for us. So we got stuck with a Democrat, and he's an idiot. And he's using the guise of fiscal responsibility, which we all know is a lie. Since when did a Democrat become fiscally responsible? When did they ever care about saving money? They were spend people. But anyway, he's under the guise of saving money. He has scratched all of our Second Amendment tax-free weekends for the next 7 years, which we need to get a Republican in there to reinstate those. If you guys are not familiar with the type of what a tax-free weekend is, Second Amendment weekend, we have a pretty high tax down here. Actually, where I live here in the southwest part of the state, we have sales taxes that are as high as 10.75% on any purchase. Part of that is the state, part of that is the city and parish where I live. And he basically has taken what was always out there as a tax-free Second Amendment weekend, and this was always in August heading into hunting season, you know, duck hunting season, goose hunting season, deer season, all the seasons, all the hunting seasons. And it was a way for people to save money, you know, go out and buy their ammo. They can buy a four-wheeler even, and would be tax-free. Well, he has scratched all of that because, number one, he's not pro-gun. Number two, he's a Democrat. And number three, he can hide behind being fiscally responsible suddenly, and that's his way of doing it. So that's fine. You know, all it does is ensure he's going to lose the next election. You don't do something like that in this state. We're not the state where you go out there and try to do something quietly and think nobody else is going to notice as it pertains to guns. Louisiana being in the deep South, like most of the states in the deep South, we don't forget things like that at the polling booth. A lot of people down here really are single issue voters. In other words, they probably don't give two rats' ass about abortion, about taxes. They may not care what we do with Iran, whether we have sanctions against Iran or not. They may not care about any of the other things out there that are just total BS that some of us actually listen to and care about. But when you jack with them about their guns, they remember that, and they will vote you out. And John Bel Edwards, which is our governor right now, will not win a second term. You mark my word, this man will not win. He has just shot himself in the foot, figuratively speaking. So for everyone that wanted him out, you got it. Unfortunately, we have to deal with no tax-free weekends for a couple of years until he's voted out, because he's still going to be in there and he's going to make sure that we don't have them. So Mr. John Bel Edwards, I know you're not watching because you're not a gun guy, but if you happen to run across this, bye, because you just screwed yourself. You know, you could have gotten by with trying to be a Southern Blue Dog Democrat and acting like you cared about guns, but when you did this, it showed everybody your true colors, like you supported Obama for 8 years. So you're gone. you're gone, man. So I'm excited about that. I know it's something small that we have to give up now. I will say this: there are some gun stores that are still going to honor the tax-free weekend, just because it's always been tradition. In I think late August or something like that, early or late August, I forget exactly. So there's still some gun stores down here that are going to absorb that. Jared, I don't know if Jared's on here. He works for one of the local gun stores. But if he is, I know some of the stores have elected to basically eat that tax, that 10.75%. They're going to eat that themselves, knowing that they will make that up in their profit. Because, I mean, there's guys down here that would, a guy like me, who would put 4 or 5 guns off to the side and say, hey, hold on to those guns for tax-free weekend. And usually I wouldn't buy any big ticket item guns throughout the whole month of June, July, and into August, knowing that I was going to get that tax-free weekend. I mean, let's face it, dude. For every $1,000 you would have spent towards that, you're saving over $100. So you could save a lot of money. I actually bought my M249 Saw, which is an $8,000 gun, a couple of years ago, and I got it then. I mean, I saved $800. So you can save some money. And anyway, it's unfortunate that we had to go through that. It's unfortunate that we're dealing with, every time we get a Democrat president, they're a total screw up. I mean, we had that one during Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Rita, who was just a total, I mean, she was a train wreck. And then now we got this guy. So anyway, hopefully we get rid of him. I think that's going to happen. I don't believe that anybody's going to support this guy hanging around anymore, even some Democrats. I bet. I mean, it's not like only Republicans own guns in the state of Louisiana. There's a lot of Democrats that own guns. They're not going to be too happy about this either. So we'll see. All right, fellas. Oh, got a new gun. Be doing a video on this very, very soon. It's a Benelli, not so, I was going to say Supernova. This is a Benelli Nova tactical shotgun, 18.5-inch barrel. It's a pump action. As you can see, it's not loaded. I love the way the chamber is nice and smooth and polished. Unlike those Remington 870s that are coming out that are like sandpaper inside. Your shells and your copper, I mean your brass getting all wadded up in there. And now this is a nice shotgun right here. See if you can see the whole thing. It's got the black synthetic, ghost ring sights on the back. See if you can see that ghost ring. There you go. Protected post in the front. I like the way Benelli puts this little area right in the front here for your thumb. If you can tell that it's indented right there, that's nice, because when you get up there, it gets your thumb a little bit closer in. You're able to get a little bit tighter grip. That's always nice. I've always enjoyed that about Benelli. Benelli's a hell of a shotgun making company, man. They really, oh, by the way, the sights are adjustable. I don't know if you can see that on top. The sights are definitely adjustable. I know it's a shotgun, but they are adjustable sights. That's nice. This thing's cool, man. I'm going to do some work to it. I'm thinking about possibly getting it Cerakoted to give it a kind of a battle-worn look. I mean, it's kind of plain looking, but it's a tactical shotgun. I mean, this is a great little home defense gun here. So I'm excited to do a little review on that. Probably put a nice little sling on this thing. I'm not sure this type of rail that it has on top. I mean, it's not like, I mean, you can definitely get, like, your sights will screw onto it. I wish it would have had some holes in it where you could mount like a Picatinny rail on top of that. I mean, some people are into the red dot. Personally, when I have a shotgun, I just soon have a set of iron sights on it. Iron sights to me on a 12-gauge shotgun is really just about all anybody needs. So anyhow, that's I'll be doing a review on that gun pretty soon, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, speaking of Remington, here's yeah, the chamber is not anywhere near. This is a Remington TAC 14 that the guys at Mad Pig Customs custom painted for me, and the chamber is just not the same. It's just the Remington quality is so disappointing to me, the way it's gone downhill over the years. I'm sad to say that, because I grew up as a Remington and Winchester guy my whole life, and just to know that one of the brands that I idolized for so many years as a kid and growing up into a young adult, now owned by somebody else, and it's just they don't make quality stuff anymore. Let's see, what else do I have to go over before I move into some other stuff? Let's see. I don't know. I don't know what else I've got. Let me go look at some of your comments. I left my notes out in my Jeep earlier, so I apologize. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, and y'all, if you could remember, when you're acknowledging me in the comment section, if you could do it to where you see this right here, that orange, the way it lights up right there. That's because whoever wrote that comment did @LegallyArmedAmerica. I know that's a lot to type, but it makes it, it highlights it like that and makes it stand out, so that whenever I'm going through here quickly to try to catch you guys' comments and questions, I can run it across it pretty quick, and I can address you guys. So anyway, just want to let you guys know. And that comment was actually from Shepard, who said, "Would a shotgun laser sight be a great alternative for iron sights?" I'm not on handguns. I'm not a big laser person, especially handguns, because handguns, they're a good trainer. A laser is a great trainer, actually, for handguns, because it shows you how all over the place you are. You got your laser beam and it's bouncing all over the wall. It shows you how unsteady you are with a handgun. Obviously, the bigger the gun, the heavier the gun, the more steady that laser is going to be. Shotguns and even rifles in some cases, I don't know that, especially a shotgun, I don't know that that's not a bad idea, a laser, because a shotgun in some cases, especially if let's say you have a weapons light on it, and let's say this is my self-defense gun. Well, if I hear something outside and I'm walking, I'm not always going to be walking like this, because I may not feel that there's an immediate threat like right away. I may not feel like, I don't live in Afghanistan, so it's not like the second I walk out of my door, I gotta be on 10, I might be on 2. So I'm not always going to be like this. However, I may be like this, or I may be, kind of like when you're going hunting. You have a gun ready, you're on point, but you're not focused and like a laser. Speaking of lasers, but to have a laser and to be able to point with that laser, at least you're more ready than just walking like this, or something of that nature. So to me, I could see a laser on a shotgun being helpful. Now, I will never say that a laser should supersede your actual iron sights. To me, nothing is better than an iron sight. Heck, if you got a red dot, unless you just know that your red dot has not been knocked off of 0, if you can see your iron sights even when you have a red dot, in other words, if you can access your iron sights without compromising your shot, I'd still look at my iron sights if the target is close enough. Same goes for a shotgun. Even if I had a laser on here telling me where I'm pointing, I would still use my iron sights instead of looking at the laser dot in order to land my shot where I want it to be. That means that one reason for that is, what if somebody's running and you have to kind of lead a little bit? Well, your laser's not going to lead. There's just some things that I feel like lasers are good for. I never use a laser to tell me exactly where my bullet's going to go, but I do think they have their use. Like I said, I think it's helpful to have one on a shotgun like this, because it will help you at least stay on target. I'm going to tell you what the biggest advantage of a laser is, and I truly believe this in my heart. You know how if somebody breaks into your house, if somebody kicks your door in or climbs in through a window and they hear, that is a universal language. There's no way to misinterpret what that means. You know that I'm about to pump your ass full of lead. Let's face it, you do. I don't care what nationality you are. I don't care what race you are. That is something you just understood. Lasers are kind of the same way. And we can probably thank TV for this. If I'm walking towards somebody and I want to do them harm for some reason, whether it's self-defense, hopefully it would be self-defense, not just going to attack somebody. and all of a sudden I see a laser bouncing around on my chest, I'm not always going to assume that it's just a laser pointer that I can keep going. My first inclination is going to be that somebody has a gun trained on me with a laser pointed at me. So just like this is kind of a universal language, so is a laser bouncing around on your chest or your forehead. I mean, let's face it, it is. I mean, so there's definitely some value. I think a lot of a laser's value is sending that message that if I pull my trigger now, that's where the bullet's going. And if it's bouncing around right here or right here, it's not very comforting to me. So that's what I think of a laser. I don't think that they're invaluable. I don't think that there's no value to them. I just think that it's like anything else. There's a time and a place for it. Let's see, guys. The Mossberg Patriot line. I don't know enough about them, but I do have one ordered, so I will get that soon. That's the Mystery Family. Commented on that. Richard Portella says, do you like the old Wingmaster 870? Absolutely. Anything old Wingmaster was good. In fact, I had an old Wingmaster. I think I still do have an old Wingmaster. Great gun. Beautiful wood. Beautiful bluing on it. Super Duper Paratrooper says, yeah, I had an 870 that would not extract low brass shells. Had to slam it on the ground to get the action open. I had one like that I literally had to slam on the ground. I had to hold the pump and I had to jam it on the ground. When I did that, the extractor actually ripped a piece of the lip of the brass off, ripped the lip out of it. You could see the little notch where the extractor just took a chunk, as luck would have it. I mean, this is my house. This is what I deal with. There's a shotgun shell laying next to my computer. So it, like, the extractor came in here and it just ripped like right at about that big. Boom, it knocked a piece of the lip off because it was trying to pull it out this way and it couldn't pull it out and it just tore it. That was a Remington 870. Very sad that that happened. I actually got some 200 grit sandpaper, and I sanded out the throat of the chamber, and it worked fine. I shouldn't have to do that though, right? I mean, I bought the gun brand new. I shouldn't have had to do that. Let's see. Will says that I need to do a review on the 590M with the 20 round magazine. Maybe I'll look into that. I may do that. Yes. Let's see. Armando says, what do you think about Smith & Wesson M&P 15-2? I'm in a budget, and also it will be my first AR. You know what? Not a bad starter. I think if you get an M&P, not sure what the 2 is. I don't know. I know that oh gosh, it was the M&P Sportster or Sport, something like that. I think it's got it's one of the ones that doesn't have. Look, guys, I'm taking my shoes off because my feet are killing me. Sorry. I think it's the M&P Sport. Has doesn't have the forward assist and it doesn't have the cover on it, the dust cover. Who cares, right? I mean, if you charge the darn thing right, you're not going to need the forward assist anyway. And if you need to, buy a dust cover. But I bought one and I totally redid it. I mean, I completely redid the whole thing. I find it to be perfectly reliable, no problems with it. I'm not sure what you can get the Wind & Weaponry MPC for, but I think you can get at least one of the Wind & Weaponries for around $500 or $600. If it were me, I would get one of them because you're going to get everything on it. Check that out. Check the Wind & Weaponry. Go to their website. Man, they make a carbon fiber lower. I wouldn't get that one. That's like the S something maybe. I'm not sure what that one is, but you can probably find a Wind & Weaponry for around $500 or $600. I'm not saying don't get the Smith & Wesson, but if you have an issue with the Wind & Weaponry rifle, you're going to have a whole lot better customer service experience if you have an issue with it. I mean, you'll actually talk to the lead gunsmith, where Smith & Wesson, I mean, they're so big. Do they really care? But again, don't talk yourself out of the Smith & Wesson, but just maybe compare them. That's the 2 entry level. That's probably the only 2, honestly, the only 2 entry level AR-15s that I would spend that low of amount of money for and feel like I was still getting a good product. They are both really good products. So I think you can, you'll be okay with those. Again, just some of these other ones out there that are like $400 and $500, man, stay away from those guys. I don't want to name the names, so I don't look like I'm bashing anybody. But man, AR-15s, if the price is too good to be true, the price is too good to be true. Stay away from them. Let's see here, guys. What do you think of that new gun that looks like a cell phone? Are you talking about the Life Card, or are you talking about the one that, well, no, I'm thinking of the cell phone that looks like the gun. I'm not sure what you're talking about, to be honest with you. Let's see. Okay, I stand corrected. The M&P Sport 2 does come with forward assist and dust cover. So it must just be the Sport that doesn't. I'm thinking about, Gabriel Gomez says, I'm thinking about getting a Glock. Should I go with a police trade-in or get a brand new one? Man, I'm going to be honest with you. If it's a Glock, it's not like you're going to ruin the thing. Get a police trade-in. I mean, honestly, you may find you don't like it. Or you may find you do like it. Either way, again, it's a Glock. It's not like you've worn it out, like the cops have worn it out. I mean, look at, you and I shoot more than police officers do. If you ever have an opportunity to buy a police officer's gun, it might not have been maintained very well. Like it may not have been cleaned very much on a regular basis. But I can promise you one thing, it hadn't been shot very often. I mean, it's a police gun. They don't just go out target practicing with it. Heck, a lot of cops don't shoot a lot anyway. I'm not saying none of them do, but a lot of cops don't shoot unless they're qualifying twice a year. So they may only fire their gun 40 times a year. Can you say that about any of your guns? I can't. I'm sure every gun I've had, that I have, has been shot more than 40 times. So yeah, man, if you have a chance to buy a police trade-in, it has not been overused. I can assure you of that. So yeah, I would say if you're kind of delving into that whole handgun market, go that route first. I think that's a smart idea. Okay, let's see. Have I tested the Wyndham multi-caliber system AR that does 300 7.62 by 39 with AA mags, 9mm and stuff? Actually, again, this is my house, so here's one of their magazines for the 7.62 by 39 for that exact gun. Don't ask me why that's sitting right there, but I saw it earlier. Yes, I have one. I have one of their guns. I have the one that is a 5.56, 300 blackout, 7.62 by 39, and 9mm. It has the 4 calibers. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's neat. The one I have is a very early prototype of theirs. They've actually made it a little bit smoother. It's a little bit nicer, the ones that they have out now. So definitely check them out. Very much worth it. They're expensive, but you get 4 guns in one. I mean, it's kind of cool. Easy Edge says he just picked up KSG. What are my thoughts on it? Man, I have one of the early models of a KSG, and man, I got to tell you, it was not real reliable. They have come a long way. I think I have maybe a 2nd generation. And of course, when you guys know how it is. When you watch a video online, everybody's a freaking gun expert. So when people would see shells not getting extracted properly, they automatically said, "Oh, you're short stroking it." Look, guys, I've been shooting shotguns for a very long time. That's a very short stroke to begin with on the KSG. It's not exactly difficult. It's not exactly difficult. It wasn't from short stroking. They weren't extracting properly. And let me think, the KSG, which one was that? We compared the KSG with the UTAS. The KSG, one of them shoots all of one tube. the 7 tubes on, or the 7 rounds on one side, and there's another tube of 7. One of them shoots all, and then it shoots the others, and then one I think shoots bang, 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 goes back and forth between the tubes. And I think it's the KSG maybe that you have to swap between them. Like, in other words, there's a switch in the bottom of it that once you finish the one tube, you have to flip it over and switch it, and it'll go to the next tube. It's been so long since I shot it. I have one upstairs. I don't exactly remember. I will say it's a very well-made gun. It's got more metal on it, so it feels more stout. I actually like the way that really long one looks. I just don't want one. It's a little too heavy for me. But I like the way they look. I mean, they're so compact. Built in that bullpup design, to me, it's got a nice, robust, solid feel to it up close. Great for home defense, because you're going to be able to go through a doorway with no issues whatsoever. You know, without banging your barrel. You don't always have to do this to go in and out of a room. You know, you could just keep it next to you and turn like that and keep the gun at the ready all the time. So I find that they're nice guns. I think they're nice. Let's see, guys. C4 Defense, no, I do not have any experience with Bear Creek Arsenal, and I don't mean this in the wrong way, but I've not heard of them. So that doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of gun companies I have not heard of. But no, I have no experience with them whatsoever. Let's see, fellas. See Armando. Armando's leaving. So see you, bud. Look, you guys have any questions? Let's talk about them. We've got about 10 minutes, a little bit more than 10 minutes left. So I'm just going to open the floor to you all. I don't have anything else to talk about. I will say this, and I might have mentioned this last week, but I will be doing the age-old argument of 9mm, 40 caliber, or 45. I'm going to be talking about this is a 40, this is a 45, and the 9 is in the other room. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take the subcompact Glocks, mainly because I already have them and don't have to buy new guns to do this, but the subcompact version of each one of these calibers, I'm going to take that particular gun. So this is the 45, take the 40 and the 9, and I'm gonna basically run, I don't want to say comparisons, because I'm not going to be the one comparing. I want to let you guys as the viewers compare them, but I'm going to run them through the same things. We're going to look at recoil, we're going to look at some gel ballistics, accuracy. We're going to look at how quickly we can get a follow-up shot, an accurate follow-up shot, not just some shot flying off into nowhere. We're going to do some things like that. So we may just stoke the flame a little bit and fuel the fire about the whole debate between which caliber is better. But if nothing else, at the end of the day, I think we'll all be able to look at it and say, all right, this is the reason why I might prefer that caliber over the other one. So that's going to be fun, man. I may wait until fall, or at least when the temperatures get a little bit more bearable outside before I start that, because I don't want to feel rushed. That's the problem with me doing videos this time of year, is I find that there are things that I wanted to talk about or things that I wanted to do while I was out there, and I don't do them because I feel like I'm rushing through my videos to get the heck out of the heat, you know, get back to the house. I'd much rather be working in front of my computer in post-production than sitting out there sweating. I mean, it's hot as balls out there right now, guys. So anyway, that's a video series that I'm very excited to start working on. I'm not sure if I understand the question. Gabriel asks, where do I get my 5.56? So you mean the 5.56 ammo? My 5.56 ammo I get from Armscore. I mean, Armscore is a supplier of ammo for my show. I'm giving you guys this for full disclosure. But they're suppliers because I sought them out. I like their ammo. I've always liked their ammo. I like the consistency of their ammo. I like the fact that I've chronoed their ammo versus other Winchester white box. if you gave me Winchester white box, I would wait till I met somebody that I don't like, and I would give them those rounds. I don't like Winchester white box. Very, very inconsistent. The way that they're staged inside the casings is inconsistent. The powder is inconsistent. I like Armscore. Armscore ammo is really good. I sought them out. I was like, look, I really like your product. I use your product. Let's work something out. And we did. And now they supply all of my ammo. So that's the 5.56 ammo that I have. I've got several thousand rounds in the garage. Let's see. Easy Edge says, I'm in Cali right now, but moving to Nevada. Good. Good choice. I'm planning to make my 308 AR to an SBR. What do you think? Wow. You're going to have a 308 SBR. You know, man, and I don't mean this in an ugly way. Good luck with that. That's a big round, man, for an SBR. I'm not saying don't do it, because it'd be pretty awesome to have that kind of firepower in such a short package. But God dang, that's going to be loud, and that's going to. We'll see. We'll see. Let us know. Let us know what you find out about that. That's interesting. Again, I'm not saying don't do it, and I'm not dogging you for doing it, but that's a heck of a round in an SBR. That's for sure. Vash Matrix says tube versus mag 590 Shockwave. Not sure, because I have not shot the mag fed 590 Shockwave. I've only shot the tube fed, so don't have any experience with the magazine. But I mean, I have magazine fed shotguns. I don't think I have any in here right now, but yeah, I mean, I've got plenty of them, and I like the mag. Look, I like mag fed shotguns. People are like, oh, well, if I can put 5 in my tube, you know, why would I want 5 in a magazine? Reloads. You cannot. Nobody, not even Jerry Micklick, nobody can load 5 rounds in a tube going through the port faster than you can drop a mag and slam another one in. Nobody can. So reload. That's your biggest advantage. Shark Chucker says, how was Queensryche? That was a while back. Yes, and they were good. Their new singer was really good. I think three of the original members of the band were in it. That was very good. It was a good concert. I enjoyed myself that night. What kind of gun safes and vaults do you like? I like the one that I have upstairs, which is a room that locks with a steel door with deadbolt locks going into it. That's basically my gun safe. I do have a small biometric gun safe next to my bed because I have a special needs son. And I just press the button, put my finger on it, reads my fingerprint, pops open, and there's a loaded gun right there. So, you know, downstairs here I have a small gun safe that I have, again, to protect my son. That's a good question. I do not know. Eat Durian, and then I can't read the rest of it because of my eyes. Asked about how much is vacant land in Louisiana by the acre. I'm not really sure. I really don't know. I mean, when I bought my land, it's been 15 years, a piece of land that I live on, and I built my house. I actually bought my land 20 years ago and built my house 15 years ago. So I'm not really sure, bud. I just don't know what it is. And I know it depends, obviously, on the area, just like anything else. Keith Greger says, do you like the Glock 29 or 20 or 40? Are we talking about... sometimes those Glock numbers can get a little confusing. When you say 40, are you talking about 40 caliber, or are you talking about Glock 40? I know sometimes the gangsters say they're shooting a Glock 40 and they mean a Glock with 40 caliber. They're not talking about Glock 40 like a Glock 23 or something like that. Glock 29, which one is the 29? I know the 27 is a 40 caliber subcompact. 27 is a 9mm subcompact. No, 26, I'm sorry. The 20 is a 45, so that's the full size 45, right? No, the 20 is a full size 10mm if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I get their numbers so mixed up all the time. Excuse me for screwing you guys up if that's the case, but anyway, I'm not sure what I'm not real square on the question, so I apologize. Let's see, guys. What time is it? 7:55. Let me grab one more pull off my beer here. Yeah, that's the last one. That was a warm sip. Not that great. Okay, the 29 is a 10mm subcompact. I have not shot the 29. The 20 is, if you're talking about the 10 millimeter 20, that's a piece of cake. That's the full size. That's actually very very easy to shoot. That gun actually being full size like that, it handles that 10 millimeter round pretty well. I don't find that there's any crazy torque or anything like that. That's one reason why I don't care for many of the polymer 40 caliber guns, is because they have such a weird torque. Like when you shoot it, well, let me grab a 40 caliber just to show you, which to me this is a horrible combination. A 40 caliber subcompact just has a crazy torque to it. Like when you shoot a gun normally, your recoil is going to come back like this or back like that, where your 40 caliber torques like that. Like you can feel it torquing. I mean, it's not a normal recoil that you would find on a gun where you're just shooting it. Well, let me do it from the side, where you're just shooting like pow, pow, or you're shooting where it comes back. It's like it torques like that to the side and back. Just that's, to me, the 40 caliber is not made for polymer guns very well. It's just not. You can take, and we'll show it. I mean, we'll show it in this video. I mean, we've got a 40 and a 45. And you're going to see that this is from experience. I have not shot the video yet, but this is from experience. This 45 is going to be so much more calm in shooting than that 40 is, just because of the nature and the violent nature of that 40 caliber round. Doesn't make it better. It makes it a pain in the ass on a follow-up shot. And I have several 40 calibers. I carried a 40 for a long time. I don't know. I have different opinions now about some of these calibers. I like them all. I mean, it's not like I'm getting rid of all my 40 caliber guns. It's just that, man, when you shoot it, the worst thing to do is take a 40 caliber Glock and shoot it, and then grab a 45 caliber Glock and shoot it, because then you're going to realize, man, I just shot a smaller caliber round, and it recoils a whole lot more violently than the 45 does. So it's not a great thing to make a case. That's for sure. Let's see. Now, Willie says, speaking on the Remington having lower quality, what are your thoughts on the high-powered rifles like the 700 VLS? I think that's a little bit different. I think there are certain segments of Remington where they take quality control a little bit more seriously. And because the Remington 700 is used by so many people, including the military, for real-world sniper-type situations, like life and death situations, I don't think they're spitting those things out like a Remington 870 is, where Billy Bob, that just passed the entry-level aptitude test by the skin of his teeth, is suddenly put in charge of quality control within 3 weeks of being there just because he was a nice guy. I don't think that happens with some of the nicer firearms that you're going to find with Remington. I believe they kind of protect those a little bit more, and that includes the 700. I can't say anything bad about the 700. I have shot some of the newer 700s. I've looked at them thoroughly, and they're well made. They are well made. They're not slammed together and slapped together like a Remington 870. So again, I can't dog Remington wholeheartedly, because they do make some quality stuff still. I just wish they applied that whole quality control concept across the board to all of their firearms, and not just the ones that they want to cherry pick and put out the door that are nice. Let's see, guys. Man, it is now 8 o'clock. I'm going to need to shut it down because I have some work to do. I have video work that I need to get out. If you guys don't mind, I'd like to shut her down. It is 8 o'clock on the dot. I want to tell everybody thanks for, again, hanging out with us. You guys know how I feel about that. I appreciate it. In fact, we've had a pretty good room in here tonight. A lot of you guys, again, as always, very active chat room. I'm encouraged anytime we do this because it's a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. I don't remember why I didn't do it. Oh, I had a funeral last week, so we were actually couldn't do anything last week. Had some a very close friend of our family that passed away, so we were in and out of the funeral homes and stuff like that. So that's why we didn't do it last week. So hopefully I will see you guys again next Friday night. Hopefully have some new stuff to show you guys. I have some things kind of in the works that I'm working on right now, so hopefully I'll have some of that ironed out next week. We are doing some pretty cool stuff, and I just want to share a lot of that with you guys. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Go to the range, man. Hydrate yourself. Try to stay cool. And we will see you guys next week. I hopefully spitting some videos out, and you guys have a first shot at them. And man, I appreciate you guys supporting us. You know, if you get a chance, share our videos. Ask people to subscribe to us if you're on social medias and all that good stuff. And we will see you guys next Friday night, hopefully. God willing, and the creek don't rise, right? Isn't that what Mom used to say? We'll see you guys next week.